Well, hello everybody, this is Fibro Jedi and one of the team managing LOTRO family, and this is, if I've counted correctly, the 9th episode in my Warden series. So welcome to the Prancing Pony in Bree-land. We finally made it out of the Shire, and in my illness time I completed all the deeds. But I only have one confession, and that is I have leveled up from 15 to 16, thinking, oh, it won't make a difference, only to figure out it does. I've been using a Stone of the Tortoise ever since then to stop gaining XP. So, we will pick up the epic. I'm not sure how much the epic will actually do, or whether we'll go on one of the side storylines to start off with. See how I feel when we pick things up. We also have a pressing matter, a class quest to do as well, so we have to go to the Bree jails for that. The reason I say it did actually make a difference when we leveled it from 15 to 16 is that I gained gambits, ha 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 ha, and more than that, I have gained multiple gambit builder gambits as well. So the main things are, we're in determination, so let's ignore all the other paths for now. So we've gained this conviction, which is shield, taunt, shield, taunt, shield. And that this skill is most powerful when you have used Impressive Flourish and Maddening Strike in sequence. So Impressive Flourish is the nice fire one that we had earlier. What's Maddening Strike? Is another determination one, which is just shield, taunt, shield. So whether then you have to go shield, taunt, shield, because that clears all gambits, and then do shield, taunt, shield, taunt, shield to get the one we were just looking at, which was conviction. So conviction boosts your defences and heals nearby allies. Well, if you haven't got any allies nearby, that doesn't matter, but we are in a tank stance, so the idea being, I suppose, that you're more likely to be in groups. As to how great a Warden is as a tank compared to a Guardian, I can't really pass an opinion. But this heals 29 morale initially, and then 29 morale every 3 seconds for 6 seconds, i.e. Twice. It might be 3 times if it does it at 0, 29. 0 to 3 seconds, 6 seconds, maybe 3 times. But it also then boosts your critical defense, which is your defense against critical hits, for anyone who's new to LOTRO at all. And then a bit of tactical mitigation, very handy given that we're mostly about physical stuff at the moment. So that Maddening Strike was what we saw earlier, which is shield, taunt, shield. A quick and well-placed attack, second in the Impressive Flourish gambit chain. So you can do an Impressive Flourish, followed by a Maddening Strike, followed by a Conviction, if you can remember how you do all those. It has its own bonus anyway if you don't manage it, so you get 103 critical defense, 58 physical mitigation, and 58 tactical mitigation. So these two are fairly easy to remember, as long as I go shield, taunt, shield, use the gambit, and then shield, taunt, shield, etc. So we have to be up against some foes that have a decent amount of morale, really, else you just end up killing them before you get through your chain. To confuse matters, no, wait, come back. Impressive Flourish. This should make it fairly easy to remember. If it's shield, taunt, use gambit to do your Impressive Flourish, which is the fire, which deals light damage, plus boosting defences. So you can go shield, taunt for Impressive Flourish. Then, for Maddening Strike, shield, taunt, shield. And then for the Conviction, shield, taunt, shield. So there you go, we end up with, it's all the same combination, it just depends totally on how many. The other one we've got in the determination path is this Surety of Death. Great. Which, to confuse matters, is the opposite, so is taunt, shield, taunt, shield. Deals common damage and light damage over time, and boosts the Warden's defences. So 54 light damage initially, then 54 light damage every 4 seconds for 16 seconds, and boosts your evade rating. So quite a bit there to attempt. Now, someone on the YouTube channel made a very good point about... Let me see if I can find it. I'm looking for quick thrust plus taunt. This one. Is it? No, because that's arranged. I'm looking for... Deft... Is it... Offensive strike. Yes, this one. So offensive strike. From a previous video, what that does is you put in this case, a thrust followed by a taunt. And what that does is it drains the opponent you've just done that gambit on of morale, and it heals you of some as well, the same amount. What the person who made a comment on the video made a good point at is that if you have multiple mobs attacking you, as often happens, if you do the offensive strike on one, you can then do it on the next and on the next, and you effectively drain all three and heal yourself. And I've been practicing that, and it is very effective. The only confusing thing is it doesn't show you being healed of that morale, so you sort of have to trust it is happening. By the fact that your health isn't going down and your opponent's is. So in one sense that can reduce how many hits you have to make to kill an opponent, because it's a draining over time. And that actually lasts 16 seconds, which is a long time. Certainly at this level you don't have many fights that last 16 seconds. So then you can build in other ones. The only other thing another commenter made, ironically, a comment about, and I've been really appreciative of people's input, there's been one or two people who have commented a lot and have been really helpful, is Warcry is a good starting point for quite a few things. It's, as it says in this, it's the first in the Warcry gambit chain. I haven't yet, or at least I've not been made aware of what the second one in the Warcry gambit chain is. Unless it's down here somewhere. No, it's not. So we haven't got the second level yet. But to get into the habit of using Warcry, which is deals light damage initially and more over time, and boosts your evade rating. But because it's the start of a chain, it can be handy to think about doing that one first. But as a defensive one, I'm going to try, maybe during the fights in this video, to focus on these ones that boost defenses and are part of a chain, to get into the habit of doing that. Right, so enough gumph. I've tried to time this so that it's pretty much daylight by the time we emerge outside. I really apologise for that last one that was really dark. I've learnt now not to record during night time in game. So we're going to pick up the epic and probably pick up the class quest as well. I'm not sure where that one takes me, because although I have other wardens, I have not out-leveled this one. Right, okay, so prologue. We've been sent from the Shire by one of the rangers to talk to... Yeah, here we go. So it says, the ranger Halros is greatly concerned that he was unable to find any of his kindred to stand with you against the threat of Lubach and Eogan, and worries that something has happened to them. And we need to speak to Barleyman Butterbur in the Prancing Pony.
How can I be of service?
I am not doing voice acting for him. Who was that you were looking for? Oh, Strider. Yes. Well, not that it's my business, but I wouldn't go near that ranger out of the wild. He's a strange one. Not that he can't tell a rousing tale when he's of a mind. Well, it's clear you have no mind to listen to me. Strider keeps to himself mostly. From the common room, turn left down the hall and keep on until you can only go right. Follow straight down that hall until you're at the foot of the stairs. Strider is in the room on the right of the stairs. Now, I've got paying guests to attend to, and no time to be chatting, if you know what I mean. It's just that busy. Having just read Lord of the Rings, he talks anyway, even if he's busy. Right, now then. The reason then we have to pick up this, it doesn't automatically grant you it, and it really should. So forward an unwanted guest. So many people coming and going these days. There is one guest though, one I'd rather do without, but Coin keeps a room and he comes with coin enough to pay a bill. Brooding sort, likes the darker corners of the inn and speaks to none. Most people are a bit afeard of his ilk. Barleyman lowers his tone. He's one of them rangers, he is. Calls himself Strider. From the common room, turn down left, etc. As we had the instructions from before, I'm not going to repeat them. Right, so let's go talk to Strider then. Oh yes, I've got Forced March on. It's very handy, especially in Bree. It saves you mounting and dismounting. But if you watched my previous video when we discovered Forced March, I was like, oh, is this indefinite? Can I just keep using this? And no. Forced March improves your speed by 38%, which is more than enough around Bree. But it deactivates when entering combat, which if I had actually read the text when we first... when I first picked it up, I wouldn't have made such silly comments. Hey ho, I said we were learning and I'm not perfect, and I will stick to that. Cool. I'm going to turn it off for now because it's a bit disconcerting walking that fast around the prancing pony. So here is Mr. Strider.
Your tidings are grim.
Goblins from Mount Graham in the Shire, such has not been heard of in many generations. Angmar's influence is growing stronger.
There is little time to waste.
What I haven't done is I can take off the Stone of the Tortoise now that I'm recording this. The Dour Hand's Lord fled to Bree-land after his defeat, and not by mere chance. I see the hand of the Captain of the Nine in all these affairs in the West, in the Shire and in Bree-land. We must unravel the thread of his plans, and I believe I know how. To the east of Bree there is a black-walled camp, which my men have been watching closely. A shadow has recently spread across the camp. I believe that it is there that Amdir has gone. And this dwarf lord as well. There we must go, and there we must end Amdir's life, if he can still be called living. We will wait for nightfall, and then make our move against the black walls. Speak with me again when you're ready to depart. So we get to start with an instance.
Are you ready to leave?
Yep, let's go.
Strider and the Rangers pursue their fallen brother Amdir to the Black Walls camp. But not all is as it seems.
'Cause if it was, it would just be a peaceful night's stroll. Right. Amdir could be anywhere.
There is evil afoot.
Can you feel the chill in the air? It's no natural cold, but the chill of fear, of evil. I doubt not that Amdir is here, but there is a greater evil as well. We should split our strength for the good of Middle-earth. None can be allowed to escape. Langley and I will look for another way inside, while you and Torthan seek for Amdir. We must be quick now, before the evil bursts from here and threatens all of Bree-land. Right, so we need to go with Torthan. Langley and I will look for another entrance. We wait for them to head off, and then we can finally go as well. And
are you ready?
Go. Let's go. Let's try and find Amdir. Shield, taunt, shield. Oh, impressive flourish. Shield, taunt, shield, taunt. And see, I said I'd need quite a few enemies to actually do this. Can I get there in time? Yes. And then do shield, taunt, shield, taunt, shield. And there's that combination. There we go. It is possible at this level just with groups of mobs. Okay. But if I do this and then the spike, here's that one where you drain the enemy. You do need to apply it to every... I picked up a really random one there that I keep forgetting. Just one of those light damage over time jobs. So yeah, with enough, if you move quickly from group to group, it seems you can do these chains. So it was shield, taunt, impressive flourish, then shield, taunt, avoid the caltrops, shield, then you need to do that one, followed by another shield, only I've run out of enemies. And that one over there isn't really an enemy. This one, however, is. And we're out of the chain, I think. Shield, taunt, shield, taunt, shield. Oh no! We had enough time to do it. And there you go. Because they weren't to do with damaging, really, it was a combination of things that improved your defences. But it means you can actually do it. There's the draining one. You can only apply it to one. I suppose if it were to, what's the word I'm looking for? Cool down mid-fight, then you could probably apply that draining life one more to the same enemy. But it's easier to think just do it once per enemy. Right.
Silently now. Darkness approaches.
Cool. Well, let's go and approach the darkness then, shall we? Oh, I didn't do the gambit chain. Never mind. Oh, caltrops. I found them after all. You are relieved of your obligations, Blackwold. Now to deal with you, Ranger. Oh, lovely. Right. Now, I didn't quite lose as much health as it looks like there. I lost some due to fear around that white. We pick up White Slayer Deed here, but also the Law of Prince, the Cardamom Prince, which we won't... Well, we might manage to do it in one of the videos when we get into the Barrow Downs. Okay.
Stay a moment.
Who was that dwarf, and what power has he to command whites? That the Black Wolds were in terror of that creature is certain, but I sense something greater still in these ruins. And where is Amdir? Perhaps beyond this gate. Do not lose your nerve. Nor you. Not the Rangers really do. Whee! I can walk faster than the Ranger. Oh, I do have a slight running bonus. Whoopee! Amdir is now a servant of the Great Eye. Yay! Now is not the time for such a fight. There we go. Okay, so we had to kill Amdir, which is a shame. One thing that I hadn't pointed out that I'd forgotten to is that upon level 16 I also gained First Aid, which removes 1 disease, wound, poison, fear, etc. Which we did not have at the end of the last video.
It's a sorry day.
It is a day both dreary and joyous. It grieves me that we were forced to slay Amdir, but a relief that he should now know peace. I will lead you back to Strider, and I will return to my camp. So during that fight, because there were 2 signature mobs there, I did practice that extra defense chain. I'll need to remind myself later the actual bonus of that, but I think it increases the light damage to your opponent and increases your defenses at the same kind of time, and at each stage of the gambit chain your defenses are further improved. But once I got so far, because I'd had some health taken as a result of fighting, but also some health taken because of the fear factor, I then used the I wish I could remember its name, Shield Bash plus the Quick Thrust to give me the heal over time, and then did the life drain thing that we were talking about earlier. So that way I kept my health from really going down much more than it had.
It's a sorry day.
The Nazgul have crossed the Eisen and are heading for the Shire. The hobbits must be quick-footed enough to escape the wrath of the Nine. And we can only hope that Frodo slips through the traps of the enemy.
Cool.
Alas for Amdir.
Okay, it grieves my heart that the enemy was able to turn Amdir thus. He was my friend and kinsman. My people will remember him as the man he once was, good and noble. It troubles me that the Nazgul have crossed the river and moved into Bree-land at just this time. There are events in motion which could determine the fate of Middle-earth. If you are able and willing, I may have another task for you. May have. I definitely have, yes. Okay. Trying to decide what I might want to have here. Am I using anything that's might based? Agility, fate, vitality, and vitality. I'll take that and I'll decide later.
I have a task for you.
Oh, okay. Let's just continue the epic for a little bit then, and then I want to come back into Bree and talk to the mayor. I'm curious to know who the dwarf you encountered at Blackwall's camp was. Dwarves are by nature honourable and cannot be dominated by the will of any. Why this one would serve the enemy I cannot say. Worse yet is the appearance of the Nazgul. I must watch the east road, for I am expecting some travellers, and now fear they may be in danger. Would you travel to Combe and speak with Constable there named Underhill? You may know him already. Stout little fellow who loiters about the town centre. A stout little fellow doesn't really define the particular person, given that describes a lot of male hobbits. You may suggest to Underhill that he investigates the Blackwall's old hideout. When that is done, return here with your report. If perchance I am not here, assume the worst. Right, and I think we get auto-transported? Yes, okay.
What road did you take, Frodo? The ringwraiths ride openly in the Shire, but there are places which are even more terrible and dangerous. If you choose the path I fear, search for the light in the darkness.
Cool, so we get to speak to the Constable Underhill. Let's unlock that stable.
What can I do for you?
Master there. Right, now then, Constable Underhill is around here. If you have rolled a human warden, you'll pass through here as part of your epic quest chain. There are a lot of quests to do in and around Combe.
How do you do?
Ah, hello there. Is there something I can help you with? The Blackwolds have been broken and scattered, you say? This is good news for Combe. So this ranger, Strider, thinks we should investigate Skunkwood's old hideout. Well now, I'm not so sure of that. It's not a safe place, I hear.
Please, stay a moment.
Well, I suppose you're right. He didn't take much convincing, did he? I should make sure those Blackwolds aren't hiding in that cave of their own again. Mustering their strength. But I'll want some help. Will you travel with me to Skunkwood's old hideout? It's south of the guardhouse at the northeast end of Staddle Pond, near Staddle Falls. If they are gathering there, I'll need help driving them out again. When you're ready, come back, and we'll go together to the old hideout. No problem. Right.
Hello there.
Let's go.
Amdir's defeat shattered the back of the black walls, but pieces of the mystery remain unsolved.
Goodness!
This place is quiet as a tomb. I wish we could just say all was peaceful and leave. Yeah, it looks fine. But I suppose we need to do a better job of it than that. All right, no use putting off what must be done. Come along, and make sure you have your blade at the ready, in case we run into any trouble. Right, let's go then. Let's stop talking. Go, Mr. Underhill. Got my focus all wrong. There we go. I'm getting my fingers all messed up. Right. Right, oops. There we go. My fingers are all messed up. Right. Ah, the focus is not... My tabbing is going towards the Nika Breaker down the tunnel. Confusing myself, right. Let's press on, he says, going back. Oh no, honestly, I meant press on. Right, let's get heal over time in, because I was just getting myself confused. Right. And let's then do the drain on... No, I get it right. That's the drain. Yeah. There we go. That was a little bit more dignified. This quest does trigger the Nika Breaker Slayer deed. I'm getting lag here. That's not handy, is it? Ah, that's part of the problem. I'm getting lag. Hardly ideal. Whee! Leveled up. That didn't take very long. Right, that's the Nika Breaker Slayer deed kickstarting. The Unscathed, because we made it to level 17 and haven't died yet. Right. Oh look, more Nikas. Oh, we completed a class deed, did we? Coming here might not have been such a good idea, you think? What did we do there? Strike with shield bash, or behind the shield. 250 times by level 17. Oh, I did do some deeds. Right, okay. Swear fealty to Angmar! Never! Then die! We want a servant, so just die. Logic. See, this is what I was talking about earlier, the fear, the dread, that's what it's called. I am getting some random lag here. You have protected Constable Underhill. Check on that poor man.
Can't you leave me to my misery?
Ye couldn't have come a moment earlier, could ye? Afore that dwarf struck me through, maybe. Oh well, suppose that's just the way of it. First it was that Eogan, saying that if we pledged to Angmar, we'd be made rich. Well, when all that fell apart, a few of us decided we didn't want anything to do with Angmar anymore. We started talking to some new fellows, men who came up from the south. An ugly bunch they were, but at least they didn't seem likely to go on raising fell spirits or such on us. Seems though Angmar didn't like the prospect of us leaving them. That dwarf came along and, well, and you see how that ended. Now I suppose the Black Wolds are at their end. speak to Constable Underhill. I've no idea how he escaped this place. We'll never follow him now.
Just a moment.
Well, it seems that strange dwarf escaped. How he got out of here is a mystery to me. And from what you said of that brigand's tale, that dwarf was the one we should have been worried about, not these black wolds. Well, I suppose the black wolds are truly broken now, but for some reason I still don't feel safe. Well, there's not much more we can do here. You'd best take tidings back to your ranger friend in Bree. Indeed.
The rangers which once guarded the borders of the Shire have been scattered or slain. Frodo has left the Shire, but great perils await him in Bree. I am too late. Someone must find him before the Nazgul.
Okie doke. I think we get auto-transported back to Aragorn from here as well.
Hello there.
Good show indeed. You sure showed those Blackwall rascals what for? Yes, those rascals. Right. Do I need any of this? Probably not. No. Let's take another one of those and I'll decide off video
Might I speak
what
with
to
you a
do with them.
moment?
Good day to you. What are you still doing about here? Those Blackwolds are gone and likely for good. That strange dwarf might still be around, but I'll wager he went on somewhere a bit more interesting. A bit more interesting. You should take that news to your friend Strider in Breetown. If he sent you out here, he likely wants to know what we found. He'll probably be at the Prancing Pony. Those rangers sure like their beer, and the pony has the best. Thank you for your help, but there's no use us worrying about brigands around here anymore. Yeah, Skorgrim got bored. Yeah, okay. Got bored of doing evil in these parts and decided what would be more entertaining is doing evil somewhere else. Okay, let's go back to Monsieur Strider. Or however they've translated his name in French. Coolio.
We must move quickly.
You have returned, and just in time. Much has happened since you left, but I have little time to relate it. The tidings you have brought me will be of great use to my men here in Bree-land, but there is a more immediate threat we must deal with now. While you were away, those same Nazgul you saw with Amdir attacked the pony. They were in search of the travellers I had been awaiting, 4 hobbits of the Shire. I cannot tell you why they had such interest in my companions, but I can tell you that I will have need of your help again.
I need your aid.
Really? I was hoping to retire by now. Okay. While both you and I have seen 5 Nazgul, their true number is 9. Before I can take my charges beyond Bree, I must know where the other 4 are hiding. Would you travel to the west and speak with Lenglin? I sent him to Buckland to watch over a particular hobbit, but it seems that Mr. Underhill and his friends decided to take a different path and are now here under my protection. Still, Lenglin may know the whereabouts of the remaining Nazgul. He camps on a rise just north of the Buckland Gate, and I may have seen something that will aid me. You must hurry, I cannot afford to delay here over long. Right, and at that point, what I think I'm going to do is divert from the epic. And we will go, and I still have to pick up... I've gotten myself lost in the... There it is. In the Prancing Pony. Because I'm trying to talk at the same time. So, we need to speak to the mayor. I did the Tour of Bree quest before video. But he also kickstarts a quest chain, which I think is called Trouble with the Southerners. Which we should pick up. There's plenty to do in and around Bree-land. I'll make sure that we don't end up doing videos where there are grey quests, however. So, I need to speak to the mayor first. And then we'll go and pick up the class quest, I think. Excuse the lag in Bree particularly. The FPS around here for me is pretty poor. but it's okay in quite a lot of other places in Middle-earth. Right. So, the mayor is up here. Bree is not a great place for Bjornings. There's far too many bear skins. Right. Here we go. The trouble with the Southerners. As I mentioned before, brigands have become a true threat to the safety of Bree-land. My chief watcher has moved to the outskirts of town, just outside the west gate and north along the greenway, to a small stone cottage in an attempt to thwart the brigands' plans. Would you be willing to visit him and see if he has made any progress against the threat that these Southerners pose to our city? It seems to me that every day more and more of these brigands find their way into Bree, and while some are simple refugees, I fear a growing number mean this town ill. Talk to Chief Watcher Grimbriar as soon as you may. Which we will do shortly. And of course, if I can't find my way out of a small building, saving Middle-earth is unlikely. Never mind. Right, pending loot before I forget. Not all that much, but some of those might be task items, which is fine. Okay, so we need to go to the jail next. Right, here we go. Forced march. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Can't say it fast enough. It's also doubly funny on a Hobbit because you already feel like you walk quicker because you've got to do more steps. Right. Where is this class quest? I haven't done this on any alts either yet. Hello, Warden.
What do you need?
Welcome, I am pleased to see you. Let's discuss what it is that I intend for you.
Could I speak with you a moment?
The spear is often favoured by the Wardens, Lamuna, but its art is not easily mastered. A skilled teacher is needed to get the most from such a weapon, and make use of its advanced techniques. Andrew Oakhurst of Bree often leads the Wardens of Bree-land in practice skirmishes aimed at improving their skills with the spear. You should speak to Warden Oakhurst at the west gate of Breetown if you wish to engage in one of these practices. And then we get Lamuna Lovelight, Spearman of the March. Why can't we have Spearwoman of the March? Or Spear Hobbit of the March? Okay, and if we do this we get... yes, it's a slightly improved... I've got a metalsmith, and so I make my own shields most of the time. But that one's slightly improved. But I'm only in level 12 gear at the moment, and I'll have to make sure I'm in level 18 gear once I hit that level. So... let's find this class quest, and maybe that's where I will end this particular video. Right, now then, where is it? Westgate of Bree. Of course. And I think for the sake of this video not being mostly about travel, I will actually mount in Bree on a Warden. I don't mind walking or running around Bree, but the quicker this low FPS is over, the better. I think it's just due to population levels. NPCs and players. So yeah, so while I'm running around here, I did manage to finally get my fingers in gear, and you can do that gambit chain based on shield, taunt, shield combinations. At this level, I needed mobs of about groups of mobs of about 3, and looking, if I remember right, at least 2 groups of that to be able to hit the third one. You still have to consider the other gambits as well and what might be most appropriate, but it's just getting the practice in to make sure that you know multiple, or in this case obviously I know multiple gambits and don't just stick to the same ones all the time. Because you can choose between either having building lots of defense, or what I'm more risk averse doing is watching my health, and therefore if I can drain life and self heal I'll remain high, but that might actually make fights longer. So I'll just have to see how things go with some of the later quests. Okay, hello.
Greetings.
Andrew Oakhurst. You seek training to better your offensive skills, friend Warden? I have not prepared a practice skirmish. No, don't just leave just yet. There is no practice skirmish, because there is a very real threat that approaches from the south. A band of brigands has managed to obtain some level of organisation and prepares to attack Bree-town. You will receive no better training as a warden than by passing through the crucible of battle, my friend. You will join my line. If you will join my line, I can personally assure you that you will learn much of value. Okay. This is a solo quest and cannot be completed with fellowship. Aww.
Brigands and half-orcs from the south have been pressing upon the Greenway as of late, threatening the good folk of Bree-town. You have been enlisted to join the line of wardens who march against these foes, for brigands possess a chaotic nature and will not stand against such organized defense.
Okay, just grabbing the screenshots because I'm shameless like that. Okay.
Greetings.
I'm glad you agreed to aid us, Lamuna, for there is a gap in our line and I would have you fill it. Yes, there is a really obvious gap here. Speak with Toby Thorndyke just ahead and he will show you your spot in line. It is very important that you not abandon your place in the line once the attack begins. An organised defence is our best weapon against bands of brigands, such as the one that approaches. Talk to Toby Thorndyke, do not abandon your place in the line. Right, I've got to make sure that... Oh, there's more than one gap. Okay. I don't do my normal, I really want to run around thing. What's over there? Oh, just a random Nika. Okay. You are to be my ally in the defence, Lamuna. I am glad to hear it. I will show you the bounds of our position. You must not stray beyond these bounds during the attack, my friend. The line must not be compromised. This is where I hope I don't mess up during a video recording. We must hold our position in line, Lamuna. Our section of the line is from this tree to this stone. Okay. A good warden does not stray from his position in the line. Gambit chain. Maintain the line. I have. You could be tempted to stray, I see. And we managed to finish the chain there. And then what I need now really is a heal over time gambit in there. Lovely half-orcs. Steady, do not abandon your places. The thing is, he's confusing because he's walking forwards. Heal over time, please. And then let me drain from you. Okay, so lost about 100 health there. But that's not bad. Reform the line. I haven't moved. You're the one that's further forward. You see, he said I'm not supposed to move from my line. The attack has been repelled. I did hold the line. He went forward. Talk to Andrew Oakhurst. Hey, we managed it. And I didn't mess up while recording. Yay. Okay.
What do you need?
Valiantly done, Lamuna. You have done us all a great service and are deserving of the highest praise for your role in holding the line. I'd like to see those brigands try this again. They thought that the ability to wield a blade would be enough to challenge a line of wardens. Are they mad? They must be. Right, so what happens now? I don't know. I've been very self-controlled. I have 2 other wardens, but I haven't gone beyond the level of this one.
What do you need?
You performed admirably well, Lamuna, and are welcome on my line whenever you care to serve. I believe that you'll find the experience has given you a chance to refine your skills and test your discipline. A chance at which every warden would rejoice. Rejoice. There we go. Title, Spearman of the March, which funnily enough I won't be using because it's gender specific. Okay, so let's bring this particular video to a close then. So what we did manage to practice, we've got to halfway to level 18, is I currently still have my gifted VIP, so we leveled up a lot in that short space of time. So what we got is we actually did manage to practice this gambit chain. So it starts with, I didn't do war cry or surety of death. What I did was it starts with impressive flourish. Impressive flourish, which deals light damage and improves your defenses and mitigation. You can build it back up for maddening strike, which adds extra critical defense and mitigations, as well as just dealing common damage of itself. But then you can rebuild it back up again to conviction. Oh, at which point it does in fact heal you, which is fine if you get that far. Depends on how quickly your foes fall. But also adds in some tactical mitigation in there, which is important against fire and, hello Mr. Dwarf, being right in my face. Or Mrs. Dwarf, you can never tell, can you? And you don't want to ask. So yeah, we managed to do that chain. I did also do some of the offensive strike. Yes, offensive strike stuff in there as well. When I messed it up and got this precise blow, it's because I did my quick thrust here. I didn't do quick thrust plus taunt, I did it the opposite way around, which it's not lost. You can still do something with that gambit, but it's just not what I had intended to do it. So yeah, so there we managed to get through the Warden Class Quest and progress on the epic as well. So we'll pick up from this point at the start of the next video, which I think I'm going to do the Trouble with the Southerners quest line, and then we'll pick up the epic in whatever the video follows on from that. So yeah, so for now, thanks for joining me on this Warden series video. I shall bid thee goodbye, and I hope to see you again in a future video. So look after yourselves. Thank you for watching.